This is the Kitchen Sink WP podcast, episode 521.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, first and foremost, upcoming events. We have one WordCamp next weekend, WordCamp Kansai. It is if I'm not mistaken, and it's a 2-day camp, I believe. I guess it's the 24th and 23rd, or is it just the 20? No, just the 24th. It looks like it's a 1-day camp on Saturday. So that is at the Sanamoya Convention Center. Sanamoya? Yeah, I think I said that right. Anyway, so check that out if you're in that part of the world. I won't be there. That said, I was actually at WordCamp Phoenix last weekend for 1 day, half a day on Friday. It was awesome to see lots of people, good friends, met some new people as well. So thanks to the WordCamp organizers for WordCamp Phoenix. And if I saw you there, hey, hi again. So there you go. All right, moving on, segment 1 in the news. 2 things to talk about here. First and foremost, the 2023 annual survey results are out. A couple highlights there, which I thought were interesting. The Polyglots team translated from the survey into 9 different languages. That was the most ever for the survey. 60% of respondents indicate usage of Gutenberg. 8% are unsure what they're using. 12% use something other than Gutenberg and or the classic editor. This is up from the 2022 results where it was 54% were using Gutenberg. So that's cool. And 63% agree that WordPress is good or better than other CMSs, which is down from the 68% reported back in 2022, which is interesting. So I wonder why there is that drop in percentage. Anyway, so yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes if you want to read more about this annual survey results. So check that out. Also in the news, Bricks 1.9.6.1 patches a critical RCE vulnerability. So if you're running the Bricks builder version less than 1.9.6, you definitely want to update because it was vulnerable to an unauthenticated remote code execution. That's the RCE, where anybody could run arbitrary commands and take over the site and or server. So definitely update that. So there's that in the news. Also, is that it? Yeah, that's it in the news. All right, moving on to segment 2, the meat potatoes of this week's episode, the optimal work-life balance. All right, so this week I want to delve back into what I've noticed. It's a common theme lately. Once again, the balance of work and life and trying to find the optimal balance of those things. Especially as I, along with many of my peers that are in my age demographic, in our 50s, if you will, because I've seemed to notice it. I'm getting a feeling from some people kind of struggling lately, and not just in work life, but also some of the WordPress work that they're doing. Anyway, I've mentioned this in past episodes, back on episode 225, Beating Entrepreneurial Burnout, and also episode 271. Both of those have been a while, where I was personally dealing with a bout of burnout. So that being said, I've revisited this because we'll get to that and how I came up with this topic this week in a minute. It's based on the tip and tool of the week. But here are 5 ideas to help achieve a good work-life balance. Okay, optimal, if you will. So number 1, these are in no specific order, but number 1, define your priorities and set boundaries. Now, it's easy to say that, but it's sometimes hard to do. You need to identify your core values and priorities in both your personal and professional life. Determine what matters most of you at this stage of your life. Now, just because I'm in my 50s, doesn't mean this isn't true for someone in their 30s or 40s or 20s for that matter, or older. It just by chance I'm middle-aged. That's what it is. So, and the second thing here within number 1 is learn to say no when necessary. This is one of my favorite things I ever learned many years ago. No is a complete sentence. I love saying no when it's not the right fit or doesn't feel right based on those things. You need to prioritize tasks and projects based on their alignment with your goals and values. Those 2 things go hand in hand. Okay. Number 2, implement time management strategies. Now, I do this all the time, all week, every week. I'm trying to make more of a better habit to do it early in the week, like on a Sunday night for the following week. So like I said, you want to, in this case, embrace time blocking. Use this technique to organize your day effectively. Allow specific blocks for time of work, travel, personal projects, and even relaxation. Yeah, it matters. And as the week progresses, or even the day, take time to regularly assess that schedule and adjust as necessary. Be mindful of your energy levels throughout the day and schedule important tasks during your peak productivity hours. Okay, that's the key, because you need to figure that out as well. Okay. Number 3, foster personal growth and purpose. This is huge, in my opinion. Take a moment or even a full day to reflect on your life and career to identify areas that bring you fulfillment and sense of purpose. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Take a moment or a day to reflect on your life or career and identify the areas that bring you fulfillment and a sense of purpose. This reflection may involve revisiting your goals and aspirations. I know it did for me. So that being said, you need to find meaning in your work by focusing on tasks that leverage your strength. It's true. You need to contribute to a sense of accomplishment. I also recommend highly connect with a mentor or a coach, someone to hold you accountable that can help you provide guidance on aligning the career that you want with your life's purpose. So it's a hard one. Number 3 is hard. It's not easy sometimes as we kind of go through this journey that we have called life. All right. Number 4, build in flexibility for travel and personal projects. This is huge for me. Recently, I was talking to a company just about some ideas in the running industry, because as you might know, I like to run. Anyway, I really like the autonomy I have right now. So negotiate flexible work arrangements if you can with your employer. If you're taking a full-time job, if you're talking about that, what is it you're doing right now, build in that flexibility if that's important to you. Remote work options, a compressed work week allows you for a much greater freedom in managing your time. In the space we're in, this is a little easier. If you are at a job where you have to actually go to that location, obviously a lot harder. And if you're in the job that you have that flexibility, you can leverage technology to stay connected while you're on the go, because travel and personal projects can help really balance these things out. Okay. And number 5, finally, and I mentioned this in the past as well, prioritize self-care and well-being. Now, you need to make self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine. This includes, as I've mentioned before, regular exercise, good sleep, healthy nutrition, and it just helps. Okay, you need to schedule breaks throughout the day to recharge. Maybe do some meditation, deep breathing, journaling, whatever works for you. That's what you got to do. And of course, take vacations and breaks to rest and rejuvenate. I'm trying to do the quarterly sabbatical, take off 3 to 4 days at the end of each quarter, just to kind of get away from working from home all the time or even at coffee shops. So, in that way you can kind of, it helps prevent burnout. So I want to end with this section here, a little quote. Steve Jobs said when he found out he had liver cancer, and I quote, "Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." So take that as you will. And I hope if you are having any struggles, you reach out and get help, talk to a friend, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to listen, help, advise, hold you accountable if you need that, but even just find some balance in your life. Don't let it get out of control. All right. So there's that. If you have any ideas that you want to share how you're doing this, by all means, send them in and we'll share as well. All right, segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week it's a book, actually, and because this topic came up I was out for a walk and I was kind of refreshing my memory about last week's activities with my run and with my dog and stuff. The book is called Optimal: How to Sustain Personal and Organizational Excellence Every Day. It's by Daniel Goleman and Carrie Chernis. I will put a link in the show notes. So yeah, it's called Optimal, and that's kind of where the generation of this episode came from, because it's a good book. I'm probably halfway through right now. It's a slower read just because I'm taking my time with that as well. So check it out. There's a link in the show notes. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe button on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon, KitchensinkWP.com/Patreon. You can also buy me a coffee there. Love my coffee. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that. There's a form on the website. Fill it out and I'll get right back to you. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out to some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.